Hey everyone, coming to you from a snowy southwest Michigan. And I was driving around this morning, coming home from dropping my son off from school, and wow, I love driving around in the rain and the snow. Water is emotion and it's a transmitter, and it's me being a water sign, it just really brings things in crystal clear for me. So today, my people, my Akashic team, they're nudging me to talk to you about souls. So, and I always had this question. I was obsessed when I was a kid, and in my mid to late 20s, and then my 30s, questioning about souls. Where do they come from? You know, what is their purpose? Like, where do they go when we die? That kind of stuff, right? And I'm sure we all have those questions. And regardless of your religion, your faith, your upbringing, your culture, your creed, whatever, everybody's got their opinions about what souls are and what happens when they die, right? Where their soul goes. So the Akashic Records, of course, are the archives of the soul. That soul. So that's your eternal you, your eternal self, right? So, but the question is, where does it come from? Like, everything is born, right? So, I asked my people, because I know you want to know. The soul is born out of a light source. And so typically, like a good example, okay, and it's not true for everyone, but it is true for most humans on Earth, all 8 billion people. 80% of us are from the Pleiades. Pleiades is huge. There are 7 sisters, which are sun-type stars. Not like our sun. Our sun's red dwarf. But these ones, the central sun of the entire universe is said to be the Pleiades, brightest star on the Pleiades, which is Alcyone or Alcyone, Alcyone, however you want to pronounce it. Whatever, it's spelled the same, no matter however you pronounce it. Okay, it is comprised of over 200,000 planets, I believe I read. So that being said, if you're Pleiadian, it's like saying you're an Earthling, right? So it's like there's all these countries, all these, states and whatever. So that particular area it is the eye of the bull, the constellation Taurus, okay? So the Pleiades is just the eye of the bull. So an Alcyone is a blue-white B-type giant. So it is a light source. And it is said to be the creator source energy that supplies the entire universe, multiverse, whatever, with this energy. And so the little baby souls are popped out. They're born from that creator source energy. I always like to say we're all fractals of creator source energy. That's my feeling. That's my knowing. And, it's not up for debate with me. I'm just telling you what I know and what is true from the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records are kept in the Pleiades. And so those of us who are Pleiadian origin, that means our soul, our light being, was born out of one of those 7 stars in the Pleiades. Okay, so that's your star origin. Star family, soul family, whatever you want to call your group, your tribe. Usually huge rings of souls that are they travel together, they incarnate together, they work out, scenarios and soul contracts before they incarnate. So the main thing my peeps want you to know today is that souls are born out of a light source such as Alcyone or any of those others. And many souls, when the soul is, they are energy sources, right? So like an orb, okay? So that orb, the soul's comprised of 2 energies, divine masculine and divine feminine. This is not about gender. This is about divine masculine is about thinking, knowledge, analysis, and when it's divine, it is basically working on solutions. And divine feminine does the same thing, except divine feminine doesn't use thinking and logic. Divine feminine uses intuition, feeling, emotion. Okay? So, but each soul has those two energies balanced within it. And all souls are born. I just asked this question today. All souls are born within 5D consciousness and vibration. Because there's a theory out there that we're all born ascended masters, which would be like 12 or 13D. And they said no to that. They said 5D. That's how we're born. And when we come into a physical reality where we have to, if it's one of duality and polarity, which most are, we have to split into two. So we have to have a dominant feminine energy being, avatar, human body, whatever you want to call it, and then a masculine one. So our soul splits into two. And we'll talk about that later, because that's where twin flame soulmates come in. It's two halves of one soul. And we'll talk about that later, but I just wanted you guys to know, because I just learned that we're in orb form, basically, when we're discarnate or outside of a physical body. Some other terms I wanted to also, because I was confused about them when I was first started with all this spiritual stuff. I had questions like, what's the difference between a soul, a light being, a higher self, and there's one more, astral body. And they said they're all the same thing. They're all the same thing, so I just want to clear up that confusion, because sometimes I'll say light body, sometimes I'll say higher self, sometimes I'll say soul. They're all the same thing. So the soul is your eternal self, your eternal you. And regardless of what you believe, based on faith or, religion, culture, creed, there's no judgment there. Everyone, who's a human being on earth has a soul, and that soul has a record, has an Akashic record. So whether you believe in reincarnation or not, doesn't matter. Your faith and your beliefs are honored here, but that's just where souls come from. Where they go, I'm not really going to get into that, because, I don't want to mess with anybody's faith or belief and get into a big old argument online, because it's just stupid. So relax, enjoy, know that your soul is usually right here in your high heart chakra, are all the information it's ever learned, and everything it's ever experienced is stored right there in your high heart chakra, which is the pink one. Chakra, potato, whatever. The pink one is your jump drive. So that's where all your knowledge and wisdom and everything is kept right there. And so, when the physical body expires, and that decision is made by the soul, the soul takes that jump drive with it. And that's the Akashic Records, and it takes it with it. And that's how they're kept. And if you can get your head around cyberspace and how you connect to it with a cell phone wirelessly, then the Akashic Records are, pretty much kind of similar, but just not, you don't need the physical device, because you got this, and you got this, and you're amazing, and I love you all. And I'm going to say goodbye. And until next time, namaste. Have a good one.